Yesterday may have been the worst day in modern presidential history, or maybe presidential history in general. Let me just show you construction completed on the Rose Garden yesterday. Take a look at the concrete mess that is the Rose Garden. They've made the drainage into American flags. As our friend Jojo from Jer says, the drainage grates are American flags. The drainage grates on the ground for drainage. If that ain't a metaphor, I don't know what is. And it is a metaphor because you take a look at what else is happening. In addition to Donald Trump destroying the east wing of the White House to turn it into a 90,000 square foot golden ballroom. And Trump said yesterday he would not rule out taking foreign donations from the Middle East and others to reconstruct the White House. We received terrible job numbers yesterday. Some of the worst job numbers, worst job report in modern times. Really, since the Great Recession of 2008. Jobs fell way below expectations. There was a massive revision downward regarding the prior job reports. Remember when Trump and MAGAs were like, the experts are all wrong. We're creating jobs. And remember when I was saying, I'm telling you, we're losing jobs because I'm focused on the systemic issues within the economy. Turns out that not that many jobs were created and that we are headed completely in the wrong direction. And by the way, it's not just the jobs as well. When you look at some of the other economic data, it's some of the worst data that's exist in modern history as well. And what's Donald Trump doing when you see then what the GOP doing? They're making memes like this. Make automobiles great again. And it's a photo of Donald Trump in a front of an interesting car. That's what you want to make great again. Those automobiles. Well, the car pictured behind Donald Trump is a stock image of a Russian Soviet-made VAZ 2101, better known as the Lada 1200. It is not an American-made car. So I guess, Donald, it is make Russian manufacturing great again. Literally, of all of the cars you could have chosen, you couldn't choose like a Ford. You had to choose a Lada 1200, and it's all falling apart, whether it's the Rose Garden, the East Wing, our economy, moldy vents in the White House. Our research team found that they zoomed in on the vents, all mold right there. And it looks like, again, it could be toxic mold. People are not treating the White House. They're just a bunch of gross people. Look, even William Beach, who was Donald Trump's commissioner for the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, BLS. He's come out condemning what Donald Trump did after the job report numbers. Donald Trump, I'm sure you know by now, fired the current commissioner of the Bureau and Labor Statistics because Donald Trump was a little baby and he didn't like the jobs report. So he said, "You're fired, lady. You're fired, lady." William Beach was appointed by Donald Trump. This was the Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner under Trump. This is what Trump's guy says, just so we can be clear. So you can go, "Oh, well, Ben, you don't like Trump, blah, 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 blah." No, I don't like idiots. I don't like traitors. I don't like criminals. I don't like sexual abusers. I don't like felons. Okay. That's why I don't like Donald Trump. I know he's not some random rich guy in Mar-a-Lago. He's those things that I said, and he's destroying our economy. But listen to what Trump's guy, who had the same job as the person Trump just fired. What did Trump's guy say? "The totally groundless firing of Dr. Erica McAnterfor, my successor as Commissioner of Labor Statistics at BLS, sets a dangerous precedent and undermines the statistical mission of the Bureau." Then he gives a more fulsome statement. It's all falling apart. I mean, you look at Las Vegas, what the Vegas workers say is that their tips are over 50% down. Do you know why? Because less people are going to Vegas. So the no tax on tips gimmick doesn't really matter because, number one, they weren't reporting their tips anyway. That's the truth. But the second fact is that they're making half the amount of money or less because, let's face it, Vegas is in a recession right now. And let's face it, America is basically in a recession right now, although that indicator hasn't officially been called yet, but it should be obvious to anybody looking at the data. More cover-up of Ghislaine Maxwell, Donald Trump's bud, convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. Yesterday, she was moved from the Tallahassee, Florida facility where she was sentenced to serve 20 plus years in prison. After her conviction, she was whisked away and she got an exemption. She got an exemption for being a sex trafficker after getting immunity from the Trump regime. And do you know what the Trump regime did? They moved her to a minimum security facility, and they moved her to this minimum security facility. You want to know where? In Southeast Texas, which is basically like a resort where they don't allow sex traffickers, but she got an exemption. Oh, guess what else she got? Favorable treatment from Congress. I'll do a whole other video about this, but did you hear that the House GOP, James Comer, who leads the Oversight Committee, despite the fact that the Democrats did a maneuver where they got Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition for August 11th, the MAGA Republicans granted Ghislaine Maxwell an extension and she doesn't have to sit for a deposition now through at least September 29th, when the Supreme Court will first rule on her petition for a retrial or for the charges against her to be thrown out. So James Comer and the MAGA Republicans, even though they were outmaneuvered by the Democrats, they're now negotiating with Ghislaine Maxwell. They said, we won't give you immunity, but sure, we'll extend your deposition through September 29th, and then maybe this will all go away for Donald. Well, it's not going to go away because Americans know that the GOP stands for guardians of pedos, because that's what you're doing right now. You are guardians of pedos. Literally, all of the stuff that you would accuse Democrats of baselessly, oh, there's a secret cabal covering up for all the pedos out there. Literally, that's what the MAGA Republicans are doing right now because of Donald Trump's connections with Jeffrey Epstein that go back deep, where Donald Trump, even this past week, as you now know, admitted, and he said that Epstein stole his little girls. The underage girls who were working at Mar-a-Lago were stolen by Epstein, who then sex trafficked them. And Donald Trump seemed not to be mad about the sex trafficking part, but that his girls were, to use in Donald Trump's words, stolen, like Virginia Giuffre, who has since died by suicide as a result of all of the trauma she's experienced in her life. And Virginia Giuffre's family is out there, and they are talking about how offensive it is that the Trump regime is treating Ghislaine Maxwell like she's some hero, and how all the MAGA media is like, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell is innocent and we need to protect her, and the special treatment that she is being given. Just think about all the stuff that happened. Oh, and I didn't even mention yet that Donald Trump claimed that he was sending nuclear submarines near Russia because Donald Trump didn't like the tweets or the social media posts by Russia's former president, Dmitry Medvedev. So Donald Trump says that he was sending nuclear submarines. That's Donald Trump's reaction. He gets mad at social media posts, so he says he's sending nuclear submarines. Donald Trump gets mad at the jobs report, so he fires the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner. Oh, and then Donald Trump posts this: American coup d'etat, with an upside down flag and accusing Obama's administration of engaging in a coup. Then Donald Trump goes, in my opinion, today's job numbers were rigged in order to make the Republicans and me look bad. This is my issue, guys, as well. This is what I say over and over again. Put aside politics, right? I don't like politics. I like normalcy. I like empathy. I like logic and facts and science and helping people. That's what I like. So when I see these freaking losers, Trump and all these people, it's rigged, this is rigged, that's rigged, this is rigged. A bunch of damn babies who should not be anywhere near positions of leadership. It was rigged, so I fired the labor statistics person. Your own guy, Donald William Beach, who I've showed you before, said that that move was reprehensible, and it is. And the baby behavior, it's rigged. This is Donald Trump's post from earlier yesterday. I was just informed about the jobs numbers. It's rigged. Wah, 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 wah. Everyone's coming after me. Shut up. Shut up. And just be quiet. Donald Trump went on Newsmax and gave this interview yesterday as well, where he talked about Caroline Leavitt's lips. He's like, I really like her lips. The way her lips move. Her lips are so lippy. I like those lips. The hell, you freaking weirdo. You creepy weirdo. Here, play this clip.
Caroline Levitt.
She's become a star. It's that face, it's that brain, it's those lips, the way they move like she's a machine gun. Is she in the room?
She's in the room.
She's a star, and she's great. She's a great person, actually, but she's, I don't think anybody has ever had a better press secretary than Caroline. She's been amazing.
How gross is that? Oh, and then Donald Trump says, well, the biggest scandal in the history of our country, he goes, the biggest scandal is Russiagate and Obama. Here, play this clip.
It could be the biggest scandal in the history of our country, but it continues onward. And that continues onward. You know, that scandal has continued from the beginning. They have everything they do is a hoax. They're no good at anything other than some forms of nasty politics.
And just so you see what they're doing on right-wing media and how foul and filthy and disgusting they are, they're bringing on Ghislaine Maxwell's family members, not the victims, Ghislaine Maxwell's family members to trash the victims. I want you to watch this. Let's play it.
What would you like to say in response, and what should people know about Virginia, the late Virginia Giuffre?
Look, the simple position is that it is Virginia Giuffre who has lied about her role and has lied about my sister's role.
Horrible, horrible stuff. U.S. spending on services, hotels, airfare, dining down for 3 straight months. First time since 2008. Horrible stats. Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and thanks for watching. New Midas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.